What is going on, my Houston Texans family? I have a very fun question for you guys today because y'all been blowing up my Twitter and Instagram the past day and a half asking this question, and that is, should the Houston Texans trade for Derek Carr? Now, if you're not following me on Twitter or Instagram, it is at 713HSP on the bird, and it is at 713 Houston Sports on Instagram. Feel free to follow me on those platforms. I'm going to try to post daily. Y'all already know I post daily here on YouTube. I am H-Town till I drown, and shout out to you guys who have been watching since the very beginning. I know it's been tough, man, but brighter days are ahead. Like I said, when it comes to Derek Carr and the possibility of the Houston Texans trading for him, my immediate reaction is no. Because you're going to have to give up assets for Derek Carr. I'm not giving up, one of my first round picks. If I am offering something, it would be my second or third round. You also have to worry about the contract that Derek Carr has. He is owed almost $30+ million this year. He also has a no trade clause in his contract. He is also 31 years old. And when you're the Houston Texans, you got to start fresh, man. You got to get one of these young stud QBs out of the draft, whether it's Bryce Young or CJ Stroud. And I don't think the Houston Texans are, a team that needs Derek Carr, right? They're not a Derek Carr away from competing in the playoffs. Maybe as this was the year after we had Brian Hoyer and Ryan Mallett and the defense was still very good, then yes, I would take a chance in trading for a veteran like Derek Carr. But I'm not at that position right now. I have holes all over my team where even if Derek Carr is a Houston Texans, I'm probably still winning only 4 to 5 games next year. And I already had the Carr experience. My first ever #1 selection in this draft was his brother David Carr from Fresno State. And I already know how that ended up. You just need brand new blood here. And you got to start the rebuild fresh. You should not restart it with another Carr. Now I am going to play devil's advocate because I wouldn't be that type of guy if I didn't. If you are willing to trade a first round pick and more for Sean Payton, you should be willing to do the same for Derek Carr. Now, I'm not talking about trading one of our first round picks for him. Absolutely not. Like I said, a second or a third. But if you're Nick Caserio and I am putting myself in his shoes, I have had to have had this conversation. I have also must have had this conversation thinking about the other quarterbacks, right, that are free agents. Who is going to give me immediate success? Because I've said it myself. The clock is ticking. I said it last year. I am going to go down swinging. Who is going to give me that best chance? A rookie or a proven veteran? Now, Derek Carr, no matter how you feel about him, is a very good QB. 3,500 yards this year, 24 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Last year was a top 12 quarterback. Almost 5,000 yards with 23 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. Derek Carr, we know he's a good QB. We know he can make the throws. We know he has that clutch gene factor. But the question is, does Nick Caserio think that Derek Carr could give this Houston Texans team some wins? Because when it comes to Derek Carr, and I am, Nick Caserio, the general manager for the Houston Texans, I am thinking about my job. I am thinking about the success. And yes, Derek Carr does bring, short-term success over, over the investment of a first-round pick quarterback like Bryce Young or CJ Stroud. But if you really feel like your job is against, like your job is on the line and your back is against the wall and you're Nick Caserio, well, he might be thinking about Derek Carr. He might be thinking about Gardner Minshew and Tom Brady and, any of the other veteran quarterbacks because, like he said, the clock is ticking. There is a young core for this Houston Texans team. There is chance for immediate improvement. There are many ways to skin a cat, many ways to kill a deer. However you do it, it needs to happen fast. Y'all let me know how you feel about Derek Carr. Should the Houston Texans take a chance? I don't think they should. However, it is interesting to think about. As always, go Texans. Y'all have a very blessed day.